Let's build the easiest wither skeleton farm for Minecraft Bedrock 1.19. The first thing you have to do is enter the nether and find yourself a nether fortress. After you've found a fortress, go ahead and find one of these corridors where there is at least 3 or 4 of these giant bridges. And after you have this place picked out, this is going to be where we build the farm. Also, if you're wondering why the nether looks a little more red than normal, that's because this is kind of what happens when you use night vision. It looks a little weird, but it is a lot easier to see for the tutorial's sake. So after finding one of these corridors, what you need to do is break it down to its bare bones. There's going to be one of these little structures here, and you're just going to knock it out all the way until it's at this level. So we just want to get rid of all of this netherrack brick, and this is just going to be in the way. So it's best to get rid of it now, so you don't have to deal with it later. And then if you've got a wall like this, in the case where there's only 3 bridges, just go ahead and knock out one of these sides. You don't have to knock out both sets of blocks. So we're going to mine all of these blocks down to the layer right here, where it's the same layer as the bridge. And after you have it all mined out, it should look like this, and in the center, there should be a 5x5 square that you can roughly make out. And what we're going to do with this square is we are going to go ahead and break these 3 blocks, and we're going to have a little 3x3 on the inside. So this is going to be where we build our nether portals. So we're going to place down obsidian in all of these holes now, and then we're going to build pillars that are 4 blocks tall or 3 blocks tall up here, just like so. And then we're going to place down blocks on top of these, just like this. If you want to make this look nicer and have the obsidian there, then go right ahead, be my guest. But you can place down normal blocks and it will work all the same. Then we're going to connect this up with some more obsidian to go ahead and finish off that portal. So now what we want to do before we light it is we actually want to get a piglin in the center here. So first, we should probably make a structure. So we're going to place down 3 temporary blocks, then go ahead and grab our trapdoors. And we're going to place down trapdoors on the lower level of block number 2 and the lower level of block number 3. So we're going to do this for all 4 of these blocks, just like so. For this next bit, you're going to want to get yourself a piglin, which I have right here. So you could get this via minecart, or you could put it in a boat and wear a golden piece of armor, so then he won't attack you. However, the minecart is going to be a lot easier because, I don't know if you've seen the nether, it's a little bit hilly. So I highly recommend this minecart unless you have a piglin, say, right there, in which case I would use a boat. But after he is in that minecart, we're going to go ahead and name him. So we need to get ourselves an anvil, and then we're going to name a name tag. All right, with the anvil now, just go ahead and throw your name tags in here, or your name tag, and name it whatever you want. You're never going to see the name tag, so it doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to name him Turtle, because why not? So this is a piglin named Turtle, totally not confusing at all. So we're going to name him Turtle, and then from here, we're just going to go ahead and push him into the little trapdoor enclosure. And then once he's in there, we are going to go ahead and break the rails he's on. So we're going to break all of these as well. And then we're going to go ahead and break the minecart just like that. Break the rail, break the temporary block, and he is in there. So now Turtle is going to live out the rest of his days in this little trapdoor enclosure. So after Turtle is in there, we're going to go ahead and light all 4 of these nether portals. And this is going to be how we get wither skeletons into the overworld. So we're actually going to go through this portal now. And wherever this leads us is going to be where we build this little contraption. So this is going to be where the wither skeletons go after they have gone through the nether and they're in the overworld now. So this is going to be where we kill them. So what we're going to do is we want to place down 3 blocks like so, and then come across and build this little arch shape. So this is going to be the way that you get in and out of this portal, mostly going in because it's a lot easier to just go through this portal to get back into the nether. On the other side here, this is going to be where the wither skeletons end up. And what we're going to do is we're going to place down 2 blocks out, 2 blocks out, and then we're going to build up all the way to the top of the portal, just like so. After doing this, we can mine out these blocks, and I recommend mining out 2 blocks deep, and then just go ahead and fill in this wall. From here, we can go ahead and mine out this area and just have a nice little staircase down to this layer. And then we're going to go ahead and place down a chest right here and then mine this out for some hoppers. So let me grab those real quick. All right, with the hoppers now, we're going to grab these and we're going to run them into the back of this chest. So this is going to be where all of the drops end up, including the wither skeleton skulls. Then we're going to go ahead and place down 2 half slabs right here. That way you can enter into the chest and you can also hit the wither skeletons and they will not be able to touch you, which is perfect. So now we're going to go back into the nether and get this set up. So make sure you have a way back in, which is going to be this side of the portal. Wither skeletons actually can't come out of that side because it is only 2 blocks tall. All right, back in the nether now, we are going to grab some scaffolding and we're going to build our little AFK platform. So first off, we need to get some scaffolding so that we can come above here. And then we're going to build over by 2. So we just want to go... How can you do this? Okay, there we go. 1 and 2. And then build over into the center. We can then dig out this area so that we can actually get up here. So once we're up here, we're just going to go ahead and dig right the way up. And we want to go 20 blocks above this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So this is going to be where we want to AFK, so we'll knock out 2 more blocks so we can actually stand up here, and then we can just go ahead and place down the scaffolding. Now the counting might be a little more confusing in survival mode, because obviously you can't fly like I just did. But then once you have this, this can be your little AFK room. Decorate it however you want, spawn proof it, do whatever. This is going to be where you stand while you're waiting for the wither skeletons to build up. So if you just waited here, you would have wither skeletons spawning outside of the nether portals, and then they're actually going to get aggravated at that piglin and walk into the portal. So I'll demonstrate that really quickly. But there doesn't seem to be any wither skeletons around right now. That is quite strange. In this scenario, what I would do is I would just run away from the fortress and then come back, and there are usually some more things spawned. You can keep doing this until you get some, or honestly, you can just AFK and they will eventually come. See, now we've got some skeletons. But yeah, so let me grab a spawn egg really quick. All right, so I have some wither skeleton spawn eggs. So if we just go ahead and spawn a few in here, you'll see that they get aggravated at the piglin and then go and run into the portal. Now you might notice when we go through the portal, we are going to have a little bit of company. And obviously, this is not great because they are going to, once, they're going to get pushed into the walls because I ended up coming through the portal and pushing them in there. But 2, they would also attack me if I was in survival mode. So how are we going to get over here? We are going to go back into the nether and build a second nether portal. See, now we have some wither skeletons. Everything is good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go off into the distance any which way. And it doesn't have to be that far, but far enough that it will create a new nether portal. So right here is actually a perfect spot. So we're going to go ahead and build ourselves the classic nether portal, 14 obsidian, going up like this. And then we're going to go ahead and light this. Now we're going to be relatively far away from wherever the other nether portal is. So make sure to record the coordinates and then head off into that direction. Maybe you want to create a nice little railway or something to find it. So I'm going to go off on an adventure to find it. I think it's actually in this direction. And then, you know, you walk over to the other nether portal and there are all of your wither skeletons. And yes, I was right. So this is where the wither skeletons are going to end up. And I don't know if you can see it, but our nether portal is way over there. So setting up some kind of transportation method is probably helpful, even if that's just a couple torches to lead the way. But as you can see, we've got our wither skeleton here from earlier, so if we go ahead and kill him, all of his drops are going to end up inside of the chest. And after you have killed all of the wither skeletons, this is the best part. You don't have to run all the way over there. You can go back through this portal and you will end up right where you need to be. So you can go AFK again. And I recommend AFKing for at least an hour to make your trips worth it. AFKing for an hour should yield about 2, 3, maybe 4 wither skeleton skulls, depending on your luck. And again, making those enchantments would be super useful, so having looting 3 on your sword is going to greatly increase the rates of this farm. But if we went ahead and AFK'd here, we would get quite a few wither skeletons. So I'm going to go ahead and AFK for about 10-15 minutes, and then I will see you guys then, and we can check how many wither skeletons we actually got. Alright, I've been AFK for about 20 minutes. I went ahead and made myself some ramen while I waited. I also went ahead and enchanted our netherite sword with looting 3, so it's going to make the rates a little bit better. And obviously, you should also use looting 3 if you're building this farm. So, if I had to take a guess, I would say there's probably 30, 40, maybe 50 wither skeletons, because I AFK'd for about 20 minutes. So we actually go over to the portal. Again, I highly recommend a good transportation method. You could also build the portals a little bit closer, but not too close, or they will in fact link up. So this is probably a good distance, but having some sort of like minecart, or maybe you have an elytra, just some way to get back to the actual nether portal, which is right here. Okay, perfect. So if we actually come here, oh man, we are getting some lag spikes. It's probably just because I'm recording. But yeah, I would say this is probably 40 or 50, maybe even 60 wither skeletons. When we go ahead and just kill all of these guys off with our looting 3 sword, you're going to notice that there are going to be quite a few skulls. At least a couple more than you might have expected. And we have a couple stragglers coming out of the portal now. So we actually take a look. Wow, that is actually really, really good. 3 wither skeleton skulls. So yeah, looting 3 is definitely important because we would not get nearly that many skulls if this was a normal sword. So I highly recommend looting 3. And again, this was only 20 minutes. So scaling that up, I would say that you can get 9 wither skeleton skulls. But I would say it's more about 6. 3 is actually really lucky. I'm surprised we got that. But yeah, so you can expect anywhere from like 3 to 9 wither skulls. It really does depend on your luck. And also, you should probably close the back of this up if you're AFKing for a long time. Having 1 or 2 wither skeletons in here isn't going to make much of a difference. But when you start having 50 or 60 wither skeletons, well, you know, their entity boxes don't really matter. They kind of just explode everywhere. So maybe patching this up is a good idea. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Alright, one really quick thing is that if you're playing in multiplayer mode and you want to just AFK this to the absolute max, it would be super beneficial if someone AFK'd in the nether and someone AFK'd here at the kill chamber and was auto-clicking or something, or just put a weight on their mouse. That way you can kill the wither skeletons as they come through, and that way you're not generating huge lag spikes. And this would also make it so you can AFK for literal days and just gather hundreds and hundreds of wither skeleton skulls, which would be really cool. Also, if you wanted to try and get a charged creeper in here after like 3 hours of AFKing wither skulls, then that would be a huge, huge amount of wither skeleton skulls, because I'm pretty sure it's a 100% chance. But yeah, so that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, then please do consider smashing that subscribe button and leaving a like. My name is 1UpMC, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.